Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am here with my sweet little Pablo man. I know he looks like a little critter. He's 4 pounds of pure joy, and I love him. He's my little best friend. But today, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about what side effects and stuff you get from prednisone. It's a steroid that's commonly used, and it can be life-saving, but long-term it is not a good go-to. And I'm finding out there are several natural alternatives that can not shut off your immune system, but actually aid you through the detoxification as well as healing process. So rather than putting a band-aid on it, let's rip that band-aid right off, guys, and let us talk. Okay, so I started taking prednisone. I had been taking it since I was younger, on and off, but I started taking it about a year and a half ago, and I recently just stopped it. Now, I had known that I hated it for a long, long time, and part of the reason is the immense side effects that it has. So in addition to simple things like weight gain, moon phase, there is larger things at play too. So lack of sleep, and then like overly eating, excessive hunger, gastro issues, mood changes. Now I started seeing a therapist when I was on it because it was that bad, and it can even lead to mania, which I thought I was getting. I honestly thought I was going crazy. So it is highly important not to just take your doctor's word and just keep taking a prescription of steroids, and what that could be for chronic autoimmune disorders, which, guys, if you have not seen my series on chronic autoimmune disorders that are unknown, they are known. And if the immune system functions from the gut, you might as well take a deeper look into the gut. Now, I've done several videos explaining how you can get rid of these toxins, which are most likely causing your autoimmune disorder, as I've experienced myself. So that could be heavy metal poisoning, it can be mold toxicity, it can be a whole plethora of things. It could be a SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So when they say it's an unknown thing that functions from the immune system, well, the immune system functions from the gut. So when I heard that, and I kept hearing it, and I was crying, telling them to stop giving me prednisone, and they were like, well, you can either have the prednisone or you can have hives all over your body. Which one are you going to take? Clearly, unfortunately, like I bit the bullet and took the prednisone because my hives were truly all over my body. And so, but I would be crying for them to find another alternative to test me for bacterial overgrowths, to test me for candida overgrowths. And they all said those things aren't real. Like, we know SIBO's real with gastros, but every time I went to a gastro, I went to an allergist, I went to an asthma doctor, I went to an endocrinologist, I went to the dermatologist. Like, I've been to every doctor you can imagine, and literally they would all just give me a prescription for prednisone and say my issue was unknown and point fingers saying it's not my problem, it's someone else's problem. It's not my problem, it's someone else's problem. So I started taking things into my own hands, and I've learned so much. In addition to that, I started working with an integrative health doctor, which tends to focus more on holistic approach to treatment, and if prescription medications are necessary, then she can provide prescription medications. And I found great success with the combination of the two. So one of the best things that my integrative health doctor did for me was actually test me for the things that I thought I had. And guess what, guys? I had them. So my hives are a combination of mold toxicity, SIBO, candida overgrowth, which is a side effect of the mold toxicity, as well as hormone imbalances, and those are a result of taking prednisone. So prednisone doesn't cause mold toxicity, but what it does do is prednisone works in this way. What it does is it completely turns off the immune system. So when it turns it off, that leaves you way more susceptible to sickness, whether that's C19 or viruses, anything that you want to say, like dangerous illnesses. It makes you way more susceptible because your immune system's not able to fight off the bad things. Now, I understand why they use the use of steroids to turn off the immune system, because currently my body was attacking certain substances that seemed foreign but were not. Or my body was also producing too much histamine to release certain things. So I understand the use of them, but there is also long-term effects that I am currently suffering with, which is why I wanted to reach out today and tell you it is absolutely imperative that you get off your steroids. There are surface level issues with steroids, and then there are fundamental issues with steroids, some that I am working on reversing. Number one, liver damage. The liver damage is so bad with prednisone. Even when I tell the doctors or like the nurses that come in and ask me, what medication are you taking? And I say, I'm taking prednisone. They say, oh, that's a nasty little booger, isn't it? Not only does it taste like poison, but it actually is poisoning your body. There is really no good side effects that come out of taking steroids. And I'm not talking about the steroids people use to get muscles in the gym, because honestly, the only thing that I got was, I think, like 20 pounds of fat. Definitely no muscle. And I'm the kind of person that works out every day. I like to live a healthy lifestyle. So it was really killing me in the inside to be using this medication. In addition to that, diabetes. There is a high chance of you getting diabetes while taking this. Another big issue I had with my doctors was none of them were taking my blood test to see where my liver levels were, or where like my insulin levels were, and if I had any, if diabetes was a precursor to what I was getting, which it is, and I have liver damage now, guys. They were just so lackadaisical and so easily handed me a prescription consistently over and over and over again and kept me on high doses. Now, I had to literally take things into my own hands to get off of it because I was struggling with my personal relationships. I knew my body was deteriorating. I started losing all my hair because guess what? My liver couldn't function, my vitamin D levels weren't working, and my hormones were being displaced in weird ways. Which, guys, I will put out a video for a natural hair treatment. I have been seeing so much success with it. I started about 2 months ago, and it is crazy. I've been giving it to everyone I know that has thinning hair and stuff. It will not... In addition to those, guys, not only does it cause weight gain, headaches, fluid retention, muscle weakness, glaucoma, cataracts, obesity, facial hair growth, moon face, growth retardation in children. It also causes psychiatric problems, as I mentioned. So depression, insomnia, mood swing, personality changes, psychotic behavior, mania, diabetes, infections, necrosis and of the hips and the joints, so the deterioration of bone density, as I experienced myself too. They also are linked to loss of potassium, nausea, vomiting, acne, thinning of skin, restlessness, problems sleeping, easily bruising, and body not healing properly. I really experienced that one. Like, I feel like if you touch like that a couple times, tomorrow there's going to be a bruise there. Now it is getting better with all the natural supplements I've been taking because I am off the prednisone. It took me 1.5 years, guys, but I am off. And that does not mean what I'm going through is cured. It means I found alternatives that are natural, have really low side effects, and that are effective. And it's so sad that our medical system is so propped up on handing out prescriptions without trying the natural things first. So, guys, if you do suffer from like things like autoimmune disorders, one of the great things you can take is quercetin. I can never say that one. Quercetin, I think quercetin. But yeah, that one is a great one with bromeliad root, which is super antioxidant. I will leave a list of things that you can find below that are great alternatives to this. And the main thing that you can really do for your body is do testing. So if you guys experience a lot of things that you think and you're taking prednisone, there's a whole plethora of at-home tests that you can do to find out actually what's going on in your body rather than just turning your immune system off. So let's turn our immune systems back on, figure out what the root cause of our problems are, and how to attack it dynamically and effectively without hurting yourself more, because what I am going through now to reverse my liver damage and fight off diabetes is absurd. And I don't want anyone else to have to go through what I am going through. Not only did it affect my personal relationships, my body, my sleep, and literally I did not know myself. I felt like I was going crazy. And there's no worse feeling than knowing you're doing something wrong and not being able to stop it. I'm the kind of person that's really peaceful and I don't get triggered very often, but I was starting whole house fights to the point where a lot of times I was asked to leave, and that never happens. I am not that kind of person. And I don't want to see any of you guys turn into that kind of person either, because it is really hard for people to understand that you're on a medication and you can't stop it. But more so, it just hurts your relationships with the people you love. And that, for me, aside from the liver damage and the hair loss stuff, were some of my biggest side effects, was the mental and psychiatric issues that came along with it. In addition, of course, liver damage is always a big one too. So guys, I hope you guys found this informative. I will put another video out telling you what you can take instead of the prednisone, but the first point of contact should be testing yourself with these at-home tests that I will list below to figure out what could be going on in your body that are causing these overall big things. So then you can start learning how to treat them appropriately. And most of that is going to come in toxin binders, toxin releases, biofilm breakdown, because most of it is stuff that we are doing to ourselves or environmental stuff that happens to be in the air, in the food we eat, on even organic fruits and vegetables. Guys, if you guys don't use fruit and vegetable soap already, you know, I used to be like, I thought it was hilarious that people did it. I absolutely do it now because of the amount of glyphosate as well as other really harmful chemicals that we are putting into our body and calling it nutritious. So in addition to the fruit and vegetable soap, of course, I started my own garden, and I am hoping that turns out successful for me. So guys, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. It would be much appreciated. Thanks. Bye.